runs one from second. Tycooners. Odds and time, what a brilliant man. Great to see her bounce back after what happened last year.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Final Gallop. It is episode 221 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Shortly we're going to preview our runners for Saturday's Metro meeting at Eagle Farm. Morning Tony, welcome back from your brief, wet but successful trip to the Karaka Yelling Sale in New Zealand.
Yeah, good morning Claire, good morning everyone. Yeah, it was bloody wet in New Zealand. It was a hairy plane flight. They said flying into Auckland as that cell was well and truly above Auckland. So I'm glad we had so many good pilots that fly for Qantas, so thank you to them. And it was a successful trip over there. We've bought one horse so far,
yep,
and a possibility of another couple in book too. So there were some nice yearlings over there, which topped off a nice sale, which coming from a very good sale at Magic Millions. It was good to see some more quality horses.
It was. There are still some opportunities left in this Capitalist filly that you did buy, so if you are interested, please get in contact with us at the email address on the screen, which is sales@gollanracing.com.au. Whilst you were abroad, we did have a winning day at the Sunshine Coast Metro meeting last Saturday with Love Sensation. She's really found some winning form now.
Yeah, she has, and really happy to do that for Peter Raff. He's been a long time friend and a great client. His father has been of ill health, so I hope it gave Raffy's dad a good pick-me-up. She's been a frustrating mess. She come to us mid-prep last time and took a little while, I think, for her to get used to us and for us to get used to her, and then this time off a break, we've started her in lesser like races and she's really hit the ground running now. So she's going super, looking forward to seeing her step back up in grade to Class 6 Saturday Company in a few weeks' time.
Okay, let's have a look at our 9 runners for Saturday's Metro meeting at Eagle Farm. The rail will be in the true position. The track is currently rated a good 4 with mostly fine days forecast, but perhaps with a chance of an afternoon storm this week given the humidity that's around. What are your thoughts on the track ahead of Saturday, Tony?
Well, the track's in great shape. It looks absolutely beautiful, this track, but talk about afternoon storms. We got one at Doomben yesterday, certainly wiped the meeting out. We got 18 mil in 9 minutes, so you know, Queensland's notorious for these summer storms, as we know. But one thing about Eagle Farm, we can go there with certainty that we're going to race. If we do get a storm, that surface water will drain, and off we go. The track's in great shape, with lush covering and grass on it. Probably as good as I've ever seen it, to be honest. I think the track will race terrific. I'm not sure about bias, where they'll come, where they don't. They don't tend to want to be hard fence. However, the track has improved so much they can win from anywhere now.
Okay. Race 3 is the race that we will start with, which is the Benchmark 72 handicap over the mile. Coupe de Tenere will run in this, 58 kilos. Jimmy Orman rides barrier 1. He's currently paying $13 to win and $3.30 for the place. First up for this prep, and usually does take a run or two to get going, and he is coming off a quiet jump out on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's had a couple of jump outs back, and it was ideal to have him ready to go at this time of the year. He's a horse that is adapt on wet ground if we do get a wet track. Obviously, yep, Eagle Farm won't get too wet. This will be a lovely start-off run for him. The mile, get that under his belt, then get him out to the 1800, 2000, 2200, etc. So I suggest a nice top 4-5 finish for him, but look to see him build through his prep.
Okay, we have another run in this race, and that is Vaccine. She'll carry 58 kilos. Ryan Maloney will ride her. She'll jump from barrier 7. She's currently paying $3.30 to win and $1.50 for the place. Not far away when placing her last 2 starts, including flying late last start to just miss over the 13.50. Extends to the mile for the first time.
Yeah, she was a little bit unlucky the other day. Ryan gave her an 11 out of 10 ride. He got put back in an awkward spot on her and he come through beautifully. And I'm sure she didn't see that grey horse that come down the outside and just got her on the line. If you watch the replay closely, then through the line she was really good going away.
Yep.
Ryan's been sort of saying to me now for the last couple of runs, I really think she'll run a mile, no worries at all the way she relaxes. So we had the opportunity to try now.
Okay.
I spoke to the team at Glen Logan and I'm more than happy to give her an opportunity at the mile. Until they win over it, you're never quite sure. But the way she's relaxing now on the run, she really gives herself every chance. She's got a low draw in a relatively small field.
Yep.
I'd imagine she sits just behind the speed. And if she gets the mile, she looks very, very hard to beat.
So you're putting her on top of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Move on to race 4. It is the Benchmark 85 handicap over the 1500 metres. Rockamore runs 57.5 kilos with Angela Jones's 2 kilo claim. He will jump from barrier 4. He is currently paying $4.20 to win and $1.60 for the place. He has returned to his best form this prep with 2 strong wins out of his past 3. Out to 1500 metres here, a distance he has placed at twice earlier in his career.
He came back great this prep, Claire, from that natural fib last time round. And first up, he was just super here at Eagle Farm, which is always good in that one at Eagle Farm before, which we speak about a lot, even though the track has improved a bunch. Still good to have that horse that's won on the surface. Then obviously put in that really bad run at the Gold Coast, which totally caught us off guard. Went to Doomben and he was right back to his best and beat a nice filly there in Tiliana. So I think going to the 1500 at Eagle Farm's ideal for him. He's raced well, as we mentioned here before. Angie's claimed vital to get him in at the right sort of weight. a nice positive ride. He gets over outside lead here at worst, and there's no reason they wouldn't be able to back the speed down and get the race to run to suit. So I think tempo-wise looks well placed, track and distance-wise he's good, and he's in great form. So I think he's an outstanding chance, one of our better chances on the meeting.
Okay. Race 5 is the Class 3 handicap over 1,000 metres. We have 3 runners in this. We will start with Zavaboom. He will carry 56.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman will ride barrier 5. He is currently paying $7.50 to win and $2.20 a place. He strung 4 second placings together at the back end of last year before not threatening at this track and trip early last month. It is 4 weeks between runs, and he has been freshened nicely for this.
Yeah, he has. The idea was to try and keep him back to these thousands where he'd been quite good on the big track.
Okay.
The other day he was in that King Kappa race. They ran scintillating time, and he was very, very slow to go. And Kyle rode him with his first ride on him, and he's quite a quirky horse. Jimmy Orman goes back on, knows him well. I think the 1,000 suits. There's certainly enough pressure here. I'll go along at a good clip. I just don't want to see him back last. I want to see him just behind the speed. Okay. And if he can land in that spot and travel kindly, he can definitely challenge. He's as frustrating for me, the owners, and Jimmy Orman. We're all frustrated as each other.
Yep.
I think we'd all desperately like to see this horse put his best foot forward. And if he does, he could win this race easily.
Okay. Second runner we have a Situation Room. He will carry 56 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board barrier 1. Situation Room is paying $7.50 to win and $2.20 for the place, and he's our friend over there. He was being friendly.
Not very friendly, no.
Not friendly now. He is in some good form, this boy, coming off a good second in the Country Cup on the rain-sodden Magic Millions race day. First time to Eagle Farm.
Well, he's just the perfect model of consistency, isn't he? You know what you're going to get from him. He's going to jump, put himself into the bridle. He's going to travel on speed, whether he leads or he box seats. I'd imagine from that low draw, he's just right behind the leaders.
Yep.
If they go along in a good clip, if they want to dawdle about a little bit, he'll just take up the play. So he's a really good horse for these short course races. I tossed the idea of taking the blinkers off again because he did go a bit fierce in him over the 1,200, but I think at 1,000 they're nice for him to keep him nice and sharp, and he's just going to give you that great run for your money. He's going to put himself in a forward position, and he's going to be tough at the 1,000. So he's a very nice horse to have your money on if you're a punter, particularly at the 650. You certainly couldn't see him not running top 3.
Okay. Third runner is In a Sec. She will carry 52 kilos with Angela Jones's 2 kilo claim at barrier 4. She is paying $5 to win and $1.80 for the place at the moment. Another first time at Eagle Farm. Third up is Prep, coming off 2 close seconds, and gets a nice and light with Angela's claim. Yeah,
totally buggered herself up at the start the other day at Ipswich. It was a terrific run, but she fumbled out the gates behind. They've done that twice now and got herself into an ordinary spot. And at Ipswich over there with that rail out, she got herself back into a very ordinary spot. Her run was, to be seen to be believed. She made up huge ground, clearly the run of the race. And look, she can atone for that. And one thing she's shown this time in is she's not a one-trick pony. She used to be that had to be driven to the front and sort of forced up on speed. She certainly is happy to chase. So 1,000 suits her. I can't see why Eagle Farm wouldn't suit her the way the track is now. I just want to see her better out the gate. So we're just going to try something a little bit different with her, just hit her back off the barriers a little bit, and see then if she'll just get herself into her stride better.
Okay, which of the 3 are you putting on top? They're
very even sort of horses. Like in running, you see Situation Room right there. I see In a Sec just behind there, and then Zavaboom somewhere buried over on the fence. Hopefully only third pair.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to sit on the fence, but what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with the horse that's just that model of consistency. I'm going to go with Situation Room.
Okay, fair enough. Race 6 is the cutest 3-year-old Benchmark 72 handicap over 1,400 metres. Northern Pride runs 53 kilos with Angela Jones's 2 kilo claim. He has drawn barrier 4. He's currently paying $13 to win and $3.90 for the place. A good win coming off the rear at the Sunshine Coast 2 starts ago over the 1,200 metres, and then couldn't quite get it done at the same track and trip. Last start out to the 1,400 first time.
Yeah, but look, I think his run the other day was very good at the Sunny Coast. They just totally walked. That rail was out 10 metres. It was very hard to make up ground, and it was just a total sit sprint. This 1,400 race suits differently. There is a bit of pressure on here. I'd love to see him just sitting back third pair, just minding his business, in behind 4 or 5 horses. Just let him relax and give him one shot at them. Look, until they get this sort of trip, I'm not sure, but he gives me the feel of a horse that wants 1,400.
Yeah.
He's probably still a preparation away. However, this is the right type of Saturday grade race to give him a chance. I think he's a good top 3 hope in the race, but certainly be a better horse next preparation.
Okay. Race 7 is the Class 6 handicap over 1,200 metres. King Kappa runs in this 56.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney will ride him from barrier 9. He is currently the $1.70 favourite, one of the form horses of the stable at the moment, having strung 3 wins in a row together since joining us. He's won at Eagle Farm, ticked the 1200 metre box, but now goes to a Class 6.
Yeah, and he goes to a 1200 at Eagle Farm, which is different to Doomben. I love what I saw at Doomben the other day. I love the way he relaxed in the pre-parade. He just walked out. He just was a perfect racehorse for me. And even though in the race he still just got on that wrong leg a bit on the corner and he wandered off, and he just did a few things that suggest there's still improvement to come. A lot of where he was to where he is now, the improvement's noticeable. So he's going to have to do all that here at Eagle Farm. He's got the wide draw, so I'd imagine Ryan let him use his tempo. I can't see why he doesn't get a spot in the first 4 fairly comfortably. There's a little bit of speed there, one outside of him, one inside of him. He'll either lob outside lead or let that thing go and he'll come back to the 1-1. It doesn't sort of bother me either way. And Maloney's the right man for the job. He knows the horse well. He's very cool under pressure. Particularly these sort of horses that can get themselves a little bit warm.
Yeah. He's
got the nice temperament that works well with them. The fact he ran so well at Eagle Farm over the 1000 gives you good credibility here that he's going to run it over 1200. I think he puts himself in a lovely position. He's still really well weighted in this grade of race as well.
Yeah.
So he looks probably one of my best chances on the card.
Okay, race 9 is the benchmark 72 handicap over 1300 metres. Comrade Rosa will run this for you, 55.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney will ride her. She will jump from barrier 8. She's currently paying $3.20 for the win and $1.60 for the place. She is new to our yard, this prep for the team at Peachester Lodge. Just left herself way too much to do at Ipswich last start and will appreciate the bigger track and stepping out to the 1300.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was to do with the way that rail was there the other day and they really walked. She actually didn't step away too bad, then just didn't muster all that well. So she got caught back in an awkward position. Ryan had to just wait and wait, take his medicine. Then when he eventually got out, she had too much to do. She ran through the line beautifully. That was a 1200. I'd imagine 1300 is probably just about her sweet spot or as far as that she wants. I think she'll get a lovely run here. I don't want to see her back right at the end of the field here. I'd love to see her hold a midfield position. So if we can hold that midfield position and just travel kindly, and she hasn't got too much to do on straightening, I think she's a great chance. She's a really nice filly, this. I probably can't wait to give her a break and start afresh with her.
Okay.
But I think the way she's working, the way she feels and looks, she looks very, very well placed here. She's right down on the weight, 55.5.
Yep.
And Ryan's a perfect jockey for her.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's final gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
I'm going to wait all day and go Comrade Rosa.
Comrade Rosa,
I tossed up between her and King Kappa. He's obviously very short, $1.75, and he's flying, but I'm going to go Comrade Rosa in the last.
Okay, your best each way chance?
Best each way chance on the day. I'll probably stick with Situation Room.
Okay.
He's $6.50. That's probably each way.
Yep.
Although all 3 of those horses in that race very similar at this level. I think he's probably the consistent horse for the top 3.
Your best track worker this week?
My best track worker this week. I couldn't be any happier with what I saw between Skirt the Law and Isotope.
Yep, they worked.
And they had a little bit of easy sort of work over at Doomben. They made it look very easy anyway, and they weren't doing anything too much. They were great. The Rockamore's work over there with Vega 1 was very, very good on the course proper as well. So I think we go to Eagle Farm on Saturday with a very strong team of horses.
Okay. And a couple to follow from Tuesday's jump outs.
Pretty easy to tell you which 2 I like there the most. It's Baller and Zoo Style.
Yep.
The good horses in the stable are really starting to prep up now for their autumn campaigns. We haven't done a bunch with them. They're just starting to tighten the screws now, and I couldn't be more happier the way they're going. That Baller's jump out was as good as he's been the whole time I've had him, and I'd say he's better going into the autumn than what he was into the spring. We've got Benjamin Button, and Zoo Style feels exactly the same. He's like the horse I had years and years ago now, if not better. So both horses are very happy horses, and they're both in great shape.
And your performance for the stable from the week, you can't give it to the pilot that managed to land the plane.
Well, I was gonna. I don't know his name, but he's an absolute legend, and he should get his wings upgraded or whatever they do for those guys. He's probably my man of the week for sure. But no, definitely goes to Love Sensation. Like I said at the start of the show, Peter Raff's dad has been of ill health, and I know how much that family all get involved in their racing, and it means a lot when you can do a job like that on the weekend for them. And so it definitely goes out to Love Sensation. She's doing the job for some bloody good people.
It is time for Cavs Corner, which is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Talk about a man in form.
He's in good
2
form.
weeks in a row.
He's in good form, isn't he? Letting us know too. He's in good form.
Yeah. He has landed his multi, as we said, 2 weeks in a row, so hopefully his legion of followers are celebrating. Let's see if he can achieve the final gallop and again this week and get 3 in a row. Over to you, Cav.
Welcome to Cavs Corner for this week. Last week we had a little bit of joy. Hope you've followed. This week we'll go to Eagle Farm on Saturday. We'll go Vaccine a Win. And then we'll venture to the sunny coast on Sunday and we'll go cleanse a place. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone Vaccine a win into Cleanse a place on Sunday.
Well, I would have had 15 guesses for what his multi would have been. That wouldn't have been it. That wouldn't have been it. So he's, but look, a man in form. I'm not going to knock him. He's a man in form, so my lips are sealed.
Yeah, so anyway, good luck to Cav. He is in form, as we said, and hopefully he can get a 3-peat.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Good luck on Saturday, Tony. The summer carnival has now passed and we count down to a big autumn.
Yeah, we do. We're starting to get busy now to get ready to go away. Sales season's well underway, so we mentioned that filly from Crack. If anyone wants to share in her, she's a filly we'll target for the millions over there next year. Their big 2-year-old race.
Correct.
Jump on board. But yeah, it's a busy period, Claire. We're starting to get moving with horses down south in the next few weeks, but we're certainly firmly entrenched here now in our what we call our off-season racing.
Yep.
And got a very strong team on Saturday.
Best of luck to everyone.